Alright, y'all, so long day. Oh my gosh. Last thing I want to do right now is throw. My skin is so dry. I just want to go to bed, get some food in my stomach, but I still got to record and I got to edit tonight. So it's going to be a long night for me. I'm going to get right into it. I'm not going to mess around anymore. And I'll see you guys over there in a second. Green off. Push this up. And we'll go over to wheel. There we go. Right to the bottom, bring that up again. Again, this is the softer clay, right? And so it's really going to listen to us in these beginning stages. And so we're just going to make sure we are going to get it kind of nice. Sometimes if you do a really good job centering, it can help you out later. Bring this down right to that base there. Slowly bring that fist down and out towards my body. I'm looking for that hockey puck thickness. There's one underneath. Okay. Nice. Camera B. Some more water. Okay. Get some more water out of the interior because we have quite a bit in there. Squeeze. Again, get some of that out. Squeeze. We're gonna go right to the bottom. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got 9 on the bottom there. Carve off the stuff. Here's number 1. And just bring that right down. Transition, ready to bring that back up just a little bit. And then we're going to bring our hammer fist right on down to that edge there. Yeah, I think reduction cooling is really, like, I love when you can get some of those copper reds, especially in the crystals, right? If you try to do crystalline, macrocrystalline glaze in just a normal reduction kiln, the zinc just vaporizes in the reduction atmosphere, so you can't really get it. But if you reduce it at such a low temperature, you're trying to get like a surface reduction on the crystals. I've seen images of it like really turn out cool, so I'll try it again some other time. But right now I'm in the making mode. I'm not going to be glazing until I finish my project here. I got until July, I think 17th or July 14th, one of those days. Your video setup looks really nice. You're doing great. Yeah, I mean, it took me so long because I've been making these videos. I've only been live streaming now every day for maybe almost 2 months now. Yeah, I think so. But I've been making videos every day and throwing every day for almost a year, right? And so if you scroll back on my YouTube early on, you'll see even my speech pattern and everything is kind of developed more too. But those early videos, I went through all sorts of different video making arcs, right? Because I was just trying to find the most efficient way that I can make the content for out of the pottery videos. So there's all sorts of different ways that I thought of doing it. Right now it's the live streaming. I think it's kind of cool to interact. And I think if I edit the video shorts or clips from this video, it's a lot more interesting if I'm interacting with people. I like how these all seem part of a collection, very cohesive. Yeah, I think for me, the trees I'm making, I like to think of them as songs, right? And every song You know, you're gonna have good songs and bad songs, but you need to have those in context for a good album, right? You're gonna have your favorite song on an album. You're gonna have your least favorite song on an album. You're gonna have songs that you don't even think, you know, should be in that album, right? But they all need to be there in context for them to make sense, right? In my undergrad, I made a cup for every single student. There was like 800, so I made 800 mugs, and every single mug had a QR code, right, that linked to a website, and there was a number on each cup. And what I did, all I asked in exchange for one of the cups was a 1-minute audio recording of their coolest memory, you know, and you could scan your QR code and find your audio recording and everybody else's who obtained one of the cups, right, or the mugs. So it was a really, really fun project. It took me a really long time to get the website thing, and you know, I don't even have the domain anymore, right? So it's a little bit sad, but I feel like I posted some of the video, some of the audio recordings on the YouTube. If you look up like, if you scroll through my videos, you probably will find one of them somewhere, or even a couple of them. The best potter is someone who makes the most charged objects, right? And what is a charged object? A charged object, right? Let me tell you like another story, right? So, and hopefully this will answer what a charged object is. I'm not getting off track, right? So I go to a place called Brugger's Bagels in the morning sometimes, right? And the women that work at this Brugger's Bagels, they are the nicest people ever. Sometimes they'll give me free coffee or free sandwiches even, right? And so in response to their kindness, right, I made them a bunch of cups, right? And we started this kind of beautiful relationship where, you know, I would make them things because they would always, you know, be very generous to me with giving me free stuff, right? And then one time one of them asked me, hey, you know, do you think you could make an urn for my mother who's passed? Right? And I was like, wow, yeah, of course I can do that, you know? And I made this urn, and you know, it was just such a beautiful experience, right? And I gave it to her, and the way she looked at me, her mannerisms, it was almost like she was frantic when she received the object, right? And I thought to myself, okay, like that right there, that's a charged object, right? It doesn't just exist, right? It's not just like the cup that you use in the morning that you drink coffee out of, right? It's a cup that between two people holds an event or an interaction, right? And every time you see or use that object, it brings you right back to that moment, right? That's a charged object. Something about the tantrums aren't too crazy. I did a couple of short ones, 2 long ones, you know, and so there's something that's kind of just normal or mediocre about those tendrils, but there's something about that top, the way that it collapsed on top of itself, but it's still being held up by that spiral in the middle, I think really activates that pot quite a bit, right? When the form starts influencing and holding up itself, I think there's something really beautiful about those forms. You know, if I'm looking at the one over here, I think the double tendril, the arms, you know, I think it looks cool, but I don't think this one's doing anything too crazy, right? So I think this one's a little bit more mundane of the double tendrils. And the one on the top, I think the best thing I like about this is how wide that top really kicks out, right? It doesn't have the contrast of this pot, but I do think there's something kind of nice with the uniform of the spirals going up, and then it kind of just tapering out a little bit larger than the base on the bottom.